Hello, welcome back to BlenderSushi live noding. In this video, I'm going to explore Sverchok, especially in thinking how Sverchok could be similar to Array Modifier, but can do a little bit more. It's actually continuing from my previous video where I was building this kind of a tower or building using Array Modifier, and then I kind of duplicate the arrays using animation nodes and then make adjustment there in the object level. So I want to kind of show you through all that process again, but doing it more inside Sverchok for one single array. Okay, so let's get started. Let's hide the camera and the lamp. We can have the cube there and just leave it over there, and we're gonna use an ecosphere. We're really gonna investigate how array in Blender works, and then how we can kind of exploits that power inside Sverchok. If you imagine like a totem, in the Indian kind of culture, a totem, you have the base of the totem, and then you have the middle part and the top part. It's kind of similar to array. So let's see, in this case, the way Blender Array works, the basic idea is to have the middle part, and then we use the Array Modifier, and we kind of duplicate it. I want it to go up, so I'm gonna zero this. By default, it's 1, 0, 0, but I'm gonna make it 0 and then just 1 in the Z, so it's going upward like that. So that's a normal thing you do. You can also merge the thing so it's become a single object, adding object offset and things like that, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna work with the start cap and end cap. This works only for polygon, but it's okay, but we're gonna exploit this inside Sverchok. So let's say for the base part, the start cap is I just pick this cube, and for the end part I pick Suzanne, so the monkey. So now we have this kind of setup, which is a really handy but we really cannot do too much about it. I don't know if we can actually use a curve to adjust the size or rotation or do things like that. Of course, we can always use object offset, and I believe that's kind of giving effects that's kind of iterative. Of course, let's say I'm creating an empty, reset the position, and I go back to the array, and I select the empty. Yeah, because the position is different, it's doing that. I don't like that. I want to reset the position. And I will select the empty, and then if I rotate the empty, maybe rotate it in the Z axis, it's kind of doing that. It's kind of rotating. So that's kind of cool, but we cannot really do too much with what's in between. And I want to exploit that using Sverchok. It's easier to see what's happening if we doing it like this. So I'm gonna save this, and let's jump into Sverchok. Go into compositing, turn on Sverchok, and turn on node 3, and let's investigate this this object. Let me get rid of the empty. So we just have this like a single object array, and I'll jump into Sverchok and grab the objects in, and get the selection. Now I have this whole totem, and we can separate loose part, vertices, polygon edge, and then let's investigate this guy. at first this is actually what I did, and I was investigating. Hey, okay, Sverchok can actually read the whole objects. At the moment, we are only seeing the ecosphere, the original ecosphere. I wonder why. That's because the array is a modifier, so we have to turn on post modifier. Now, I believe I'm selecting this guy, so I can see 8 objects. Maybe I can create a line and use the vector of the line. Okay, there we go. That's I'm seeing the whole object now. So obviously this is a Sverchok kind of separating this whole objects separated. Now we actually have Suzanne eyes and Suzanne head got separated. We actually don't want that, but this is what happening if we really just separating objects using Sverchok. I guess this is not gonna work too well for us. So a better way is to actually perform the array inside Sverchok itself. So let's do that. Okay, we start with the ecosphere. So I'm gonna maybe turn off this guy. So we have this, just the original ecosphere. I actually turn off the objects in here. I turn off the post modifier. Let me turn off everything actually. Get rid of the array. We are back to square one. We'll have only the ecosphere that I'm sourcing. So supposedly we want to have the box and a bunch of ecosphere and then the monkey head, right? That's the whole plan, and we want Sverchok to be able to generate this kind of array. Let's see how we do that. Select the base, select the middle part and Suzanne head, and get selections. Now we have cube, ecosphere, and Suzanne. Okay. The next thing we do, maybe deal with these 3 parts. There is a list, first and last. This is actually super handy. This is actually what we're gonna use to separate these 3 objects that we load in and source inside Sverchok. Let's start with the middle part, which is gonna be the ecosphere. Obviously, it is dividing it into 3 different objects, and we want to source the ecosphere. Let's plug in the vertices and also plug in the polygon, and let's have a look. The middle part should be the ecosphere, and at the moment we are not getting it because it's apparently this is not the right thing. We need to change the level of list. So level 1 should be correct. Now we have just the ecosphere, which is perfect for what we're doing. And the way Sverchok works, and if you want to generate like an array like that, all we need to do is really just to provide the matrix, the vector position for each matrix. Each matrix is like a transformation. So with the array modifier, you can imagine you have like something like a points on the 0, 0, 0, and then the next one and the next one. This is what array actually does. It's kind of like a iteration of a transform, and you kind of just repeat it and repeat it again and again. And if you're using empty as the reference for the array, of course you can scale the empty and you get a smaller kind of totem kind of result. We're gonna do the same inside Sverchok. So I will normally use line, because line give you, of course, line that goes kind of repeatedly create vector for you. I don't actually need to use line. I can use a vector and repeat, but line is kind of a way I could make more sense of it. If we plug in the line vector into the matrix in, this plug it into that. Now we started to see something that looks like an array. I can hide the points. I can adjust the step and increase or decrease the vertices. This is quite sensitive. Be careful if you do it too fast. You get like 1000 real quick, 1000 objects. But this is how it works. By default, line goes in the x directions. I can change it just by piping the vector out and the vector in. And the x is the one that's growing. I want to plug it to the z. Now it's going up. Okay, that's good. This is our source for the vector, but really what we want to have is the base, the box as the base, and the monkey head as the head. Okay, how do we do that? Again, we're gonna use this list first and list last. This is the middle part, and this is gonna be the top part, and this is gonna be the bottom part. The bottom part green, the top part maybe pink. Top part is gonna be the monkey head. So let's source the monkey head. It's gonna be a monkey head. Okay, cube, ecosphere, either first or last. Let's have a look. The first data is the box. That's gonna be the base. So maybe I reload this thing correctly. So base, ecosphere, and monkey, and get selection. Okay, monkey, ecosphere, and box, get selection. So apparently there's some kind of sorting happening. So I don't want that. Group of objects. So we can source a group of objects as well. Sort of objects. Looks like it's sorting by name. That can be useful as well, but let me do it again. Box, ecosphere, monkey, get selection. So that's not gonna work for us. I think we should start naming this. So this is gonna be 000 or 0 head. This is gonna be 1 body, and this is gonna be 2 base or tail. Monkey, ecosphere, this guy. Get selection, head, body, tail, sort object, head, body, tail. Okay, now it's correct. So obviously the first, let's see, the last should be the monkey. No, it's correct now. That's the head, which is the monkey head, but just the position is incorrect. It's gonna be the tail. With the monkey head, we want it on the top. Obviously, we need to separate this vector out from line. Okay, so we need another list first and last. Let's separate the vector from line, and this is going to be the middle part. Apparently we need level 2 here, so that's the middle part. Let's save this real quick. And let's copy this. It's gonna be for the Susan head. Apparently it's something happens and slowing down Sverchok quite considerably. I hit Control Z. Oh, actually I'm running the playback. Let me stop that. Maybe I hit a Alt A or something. Yeah, sorry about that. So this is gonna be for Suzanne, which is the first. Maybe I should actually use the last. Okay, that should be the last. And this is the first. So don't worry about first, last, middle. Of course you can do it right way, but all we need to know is we're gonna have the base, and we're gonna have the middle and the last part. And we have, if we are doing it correctly, we should get something like this. Let me turn on the shadow, the shading, and turn off the edges. So there you go. That's our array inside Sverchok. Of course, if we want to kind of bake it in one time, like bake the whole thing at once, we need to join them. I'm not gonna do that now. What I'm gonna do next is to kind of investigate this. Did I accidentally delete something? Middle part, head part. Okay, save again. Now, unlike the array, normally with array you're really dependent on a single reference objects, maybe the empty, and you can scale or rotate or locate the empty to kind of do the offsetting. But in Sverchok you can do more. You can you have a lot of more freedom here. You can scale the base, for example. So I'm gonna use vector in, plug into the matrix of the base, scale 0, nothing, scale 1, or if I'm just wanna scaling the x and y, so I'm scaling the base. It's really cool. And I could also scale Susan head if I turn on the matrix, vector in to the scale, scaling Susan head. And I could also scale the middle part. Let's get the matrix of the middle part, and I can use random, for example. Let's try random vector. How many the count? For the count, let's get the length. Get the list, the total list, which is the list length of the vector coming in. Plug into the count. This plug into the scale. Now we have random scale for the middle part. So if you want to do like the tower thing, like I did yesterday, now you have control over the rotation scale and position of the middle part. And what else we can do? Obviously, we can replace the middle part with anything. In this case, maybe I create something new, maybe a bevel kind of element. So if this is gonna be the base. So that's the base, and this is the middle. Base, middle, head, and get the selection. The middle part should be this guy, but it's not doing the modifier thing. So actually that's gonna be the base. So that's interesting. The order is get affected again. 0. This is the middle part. This should be okay. The naming was wrong. 1, 2, 3. Get selection. Now it's correct. Let's say instead of random, we want to do something, maybe something that's scaling down. Range, let's do a range float. Count, start 0, stop 1, count. The count is from this guy. Plug this into the scale. Vector in 1, 2, 3, scale. Okay, now it's actually scale is going that way. Maybe we should reverse this. Start at 1, stop at 0. So that will work for us. Or start at whatever scale you want and stop at whatever scale you want. If you want to have like a single unit value, you can do it like that. So you can see it's a much more robust kind of system. You can create like a pyramid this way, and with a Suzanne head at the top, and the base, of course the base you can control it from this. So that's a Suzanne head pyramid. And what's cool, of course, back to the line, you can increase and decrease the line. Okay, and of course you can do a lot of funky stuff like randomize input vertices and do randomizations on the line position. Maybe not there. Let me check. Apparently X become like the Z, the Y. It's not doing too much. Well, that's okay. We can control the step. We can actually randomize the step as well. What's probably missing here is like if you have like a bunch of objects, all it with a kind of different shape, and I want to kind of stack it. That's we need a different kind of system, so we cannot just stack object and all those. Of course we can do that. Let's say for the middle part here, if you want to randomize it using different elements, maybe box number 1, box number 2, 3, and 4, and you kind of want to randomize that. You can do that using Sverchok, and that should be something that's easily done. But I guess for this video, I just gonna leave it there. Maybe for the next video, I start to talk how you can randomize the middle part and have more variations. That way, if you create like a kind of like a tower or like another buildings, you can randomize the window. Maybe you want to have for this stack, you have a different kind of type of window. That's yeah, that's a way we can do it. So it's kind of a more robust array system. Okay, so that's the video for that's enough. I think that's the topics that I want to talk for this video. You can leave a comment and give me a suggestion of what you want to know, and I will investigate. Thanks again for watching this video. I'll see you